The inner circles of influence operate on a hidden set of rules that most people never learn. Powerful individuals perceive a landscape of subtle alliances and unspoken transactions. They don't form friendships, they cultivate leverage. This is the foundational principle of ascending through social structures. To connect with influence, you must recognize that no interaction is ever neutral. Every single exchange either elevates or diminishes your standing within the silent hierarchy that governs all human dynamics. Most fail at this initial stage because they treat the influential as individuals, not as complex systems. They believe being pleasant is sufficient. They assume admiration or diligent effort will unlock doors. It will not. Influence communicates in its own dialect, and you must become fluent. Centuries ago, a Florentine strategist understood that favor with princes was not granted for moral character, but for utility. To be useful to someone above you is to integrate into their apparatus. To be respected but non-essential is to remain unseen. Therefore, the first rule is this: never approach influence as a petitioner. Approach as a solution. The instant you reveal need, you sacrifice status. The moment you demonstrate value, you transform the entire dynamic. Individuals in positions of power are perpetually surrounded by those who take advisors, sycophants, allies who are merely parasites in disguise. They have a refined sense for who adds mass to their domain and who depletes it. Your objective is to situate yourself as a stabilizer, a person who silently makes operations easier, more fluid, more resilient. You do not challenge their authority, you complement it. But to accomplish this, you must adhere to the second rule. Observe with intensity before you make a single move. The most catastrophic error an aspiring climber can commit is acting prematurely, speaking excessively, or disclosing their hand too soon. The strategist wrote that one must study individuals as a general studies the landscape before engagement. The powerful frequently conceal their true selves behind curated personas, yet their genuine desires, anxieties, and vulnerabilities inevitably seep out through slight inflections. Their choice of timing, who they give attention to, and who they dismiss. Your initial goal is not to impress. It is to diagnose, because once you comprehend what they deeply yearn for, be it recognition, steadfastness, diversion, or esteem, you can provide it in a manner they cannot refuse. This leads directly to the third rule. Reflect their reality, not your own. The influential anticipate congruence, not strangeness. They trust those who subtly echo their own principles back to them. This isn't imitation, it's synchronization. If they are practical, you become pragmatic. If they value scarcity, you communicate in terms of exclusivity. This isn't about deception, it's about finding a shared frequency. When you match their frequency, they cease to feel they are interacting with an outsider. They begin to believe you understand. And in that instant, your status as an outsider starts to dissolve. But synchronization alone is insufficient. This introduces the fourth rule. Preserve an aura of mystery around your capabilities. You must never seem entirely knowable. When you lay all your cards on the table, you become a commodity, and commodities are interchangeable. The strategist's brilliance was in recognizing that partial disclosure generates anticipation. You want them to intuit that you possess more depth than you reveal, broader reach than you demonstrate, more affiliations than you acknowledge. When they sense there are layers you haven't shown, intrigue replaces apathy. You transition from being one of many to one of a select few. Yet, this demands meticulous handling because the fifth rule states, display humility in your aspirations, yet be relentless in your actions. The powerful hold an aversion for obvious hunger for rank. It mirrors their own arduous ascent, the years spent grinding upwards, and they dislike seeing that reflection. So you must project calm, patience, a seeming indifference to climbing. But when chances arise, you act with absolute decisiveness. The influential immediately recognize this dual nature restraint fused with intent. It signals that you comprehend the game, but you play it with your own unique tempo. Then arrives the sixth rule. Make powerful figures contend for your allegiance. Nothing appeals to a leader's ego more than the belief that a person of substance actively chose them. If your loyalty feels like a given, it loses its worth. You must position yourself as someone worth winning over. The key is to generate gentle resistance, not defiance, but a clear sense of autonomy. If other notable individuals seek your counsel or respect, let that be subtly perceived. It elevates your value without a single word being spoken. As the strategist cautioned, those who make themselves excessively available to a single patron become expendable. The powerful guard what is difficult to obtain. And the seventh law. Transform flattery into a calculated instrument. Hollow praise is toxic. The influential hear it constantly. What makes your praise different is its surgical accuracy. Instead of stating, "You're brilliant," you might say, "The precision of your timing on that move was masterful. I doubt anyone else could have read the situation with such clarity." Now, your compliment carries discernment. It demonstrates you understand what they truly value in themselves: acuity, intellect, command. When you affirm the right attributes, you strengthen their self-concept. And when you strengthen their self-concept, they link that positive sensation with your presence. But you must never overlook the eighth rule. Never allow your ambition to outshine theirs. Even if you are more gifted, more perceptive, or more competent, you cannot exhibit it too openly. Influence harbors a fragile ego. The strategist warned that those who appear to challenge a leader's preeminence will be eliminated, not because they are a genuine threat, but because they make the leader feel exposed. The skill is to veil your potency behind a facade of deference. Let your accomplishments seem to serve their objectives. The astute climber conceals sharpness within obedience. Power shields those who seem devoted and dismantles those who seem peerless. Now, once you've gained access, the ninth rule becomes paramount. Forge alliances laterally, not just vertically. Many fixate on dazzling those at the summit, but the real play exists in the ecosystem surrounding them. The gatekeepers, aides, counselors, and trusted insiders. These individuals mold opinions, manage entry, and speak into receptive ears. They are often more perilous and more useful than the principal figure themselves. The strategist would term them the unseen nobility, the genuine wielders of sway behind the crown. Cultivate them discreetly. Provide them with minor benefits. Secure their goodwill. They will elevate your reputation without you ever needing to request it. The 10th rule. Wield gratitude as a tool, not a concession. When an influential person assists you, never respond like an underling. Respond as a peer who acknowledges a mutual exchange. A subordinate says, "Thank you," repeatedly. A tactician demonstrates appreciation by delivering value in return. Perhaps you later resolve an issue for them or bring them intelligence that supports their aims. Gratitude supported by action alters the relationship. You are no longer a beneficiary, but a collaborator. And collaborators are not easily discarded. But let's not disregard the 11th rule. Excel at the craft of nuanced dissent. Total acquiescence invites disdain. You must sometimes offer polite, intelligent resistance in a way that captivates rather than menaces. A minor disagreement here. A quiet act of defiance there. It communicates that you possess a backbone, and individuals without spines cannot be relied upon. The strategist noted that those who praise without limit soon forfeit credibility, but those who understand when to refuse, carefully and with rationale, earn regard. The crucial part is to disagree as if you are safeguarding their interests, not assailing their command. The 12th rule follows naturally. Manage your visibility. Prominence is alluring but dangerous if mismanaged. When you are seen too frequently, your novelty deteriorates. When you are seldom seen yet consistently remembered, you become legendary. Withdraw slightly after each achievement. Retreat into quiet. Allow others to mention your name. The influential desire those who appear discriminating with their presence. It reflects their own conduct. The less available you seem, the more they pursue your attention. And the 13th rule, the pinnacle of them all, is to always carry yourself as if you have a rightful place. Even before you've officially earned a position at the table, your demeanor, vocal tone, and overall presence must broadcast unwavering assurance. Insecurity is more pungent than pride. When you enter a space filled with influence, you do not wait for acceptance. You behave as if acceptance is a foregone conclusion. The strategist would say that destiny favors the one who looks already favored. Influence respects a confidence that seeks no external validation. When you move like you belong, others will start to accept it before they even understand the reason. All these principles revolve around one core truth. Connecting with influence isn't about pretending to be more than you are. It's about deciphering the intricate dance of perception. It's about offering grounded presence instead of desperate pleading, accuracy instead of empty praise, command instead of disorder. The powerful aren't searching for equals. They're searching for reflections of their own authority. And if you can mirror that without surrendering your core self, you won't merely create connections. You'll construct an empire of impact that expands silently, unseen, until the day arrives when you no longer need to climb, because by then, you have already reached a position of strength. But even arrival is a mirage. In the realm of influence, there is no permanent station. Every group, every alliance, every bond is in flux. What raises you up today can undermine you tomorrow. The strategist comprehended this volatility more than anyone. His insight wasn't merely knowing how to ascend, but how to remain elevated without turning into a target. That is the unspoken continuation of these principles. How to maintain your connections as living, valuable, and strategically aligned without ever being confined by them. The next concept is subtle but essential. Never become wholly predictable. The moment influential people can entirely foresee your actions, they lose interest. And interest is what keeps them invested. Predictability extinguishes fascination. You must sometimes adjust your tone, direction, or energy just sufficiently to remain enigmatic. This doesn't imply chaos. It means possessing the capacity to surprise them without ever causing alarm. Perhaps you are the composed one who unexpectedly introduces a brilliant concept, or the reserved one who acts with determination when it's least anticipated. That element of unpredictability forges an emotional connection. They recall you as the person who could always be relied upon to disrupt the tedium of their existence. But unpredictability only functions if it's rooted in control. So, balance it with the next principle. Learn to disappear with purpose. Silence is influence's greatest friend. When you withdraw for a period, people begin to speculate about your whereabouts, your plans, whether you've progressed in another arena. That speculation keeps your name in circulation. The influential respect those who know how to retreat. It signals self-sufficiency. You aren't orbiting anyone's sphere of influence. You have your own center of gravity. When you return, do so with momentum, a success, a narrative, a perceptive observation, something that validates your absence. Every reappearance should feel like a significant event, not a random occurrence. This links to a more profound layer. Your social persona must consistently appear slightly more substantial than your current standing. Seem to be just a step above where you actually are, not below. People rarely extend invitations to those they perceive as inferior. They invite those who could marginally uplift the environment. If you are still unknown, carry yourself as if you are known. If you operate in modest circles, speak with a tranquil certainty of someone accustomed to larger ones. This generates what the strategist might term anticipated prestige. People treat you as the person you are evolving into, not as the person you currently are. And when they do, your reality will eventually align with your image. Nonetheless, there is peril in crafting impressions, which leads to another principle. Never contend for attention outright. Let others wear themselves out performing for the spotlight while you establish quiet credibility behind the scenes. In every.com hierarchy, there are performers and there are architects. Performers seek acclaim. Architects build the foundation. The influential respect architects, those who affect results without craving acknowledgement. If someone else requires credit, allow them to take it. It's a short-term gain. Influence is lasting wealth. The most strategic operators in history never demanded recognition. They made themselves essential, and that was sufficient. And yet, being essential has its own pitfalls. It can render you too conspicuous, too difficult to replace, and, consequently, threatening. Therefore, you must master what I'll call the art of measured utility. Assist enough to be appreciated, but not so much that your removal seems unthinkable. Because when you are unremovable, you are also insufferable. Influence detests dependency that doesn't ultimately serve its interests. Instead, vary your value. Provide solutions, introductions, viewpoints, but never all simultaneously. Create the impression that your usefulness is continually evolving. The strategist would have stated, "A leader tolerates those who aid his victories, not those who remind him he cannot triumph without them." Now, let's delve into emotional dynamics, the domain where most ambitious individuals fail. The higher you rise, the less logic dictates relationships. Everything transforms into emotional economics. Influential people don't desire raw truth. They desire comfort, disguised as profound insight. They don't want opposition. They want affirmation tinged with a hint of challenge. They want to feel wiser after an interaction with you, never diminished. So, the manner in which you frame your ideas becomes your genuine power. If you need to disagree, phrase it as an enhancement. That's a powerful perspective. Perhaps integrating this element could make it even more formidable. You are not contradicting. You are building up. You are shaping their thoughts without activating their defenses. That is how influence operates through emotional adjustment, not intellectual conquest. And because of this, the next rule is vital. Always be the most composed person present. Influence is drawn to emotional steadiness. The loudest voice may seize attention, but the calmest one often earns respect. When others become frantic, remain poised. When they dispute, listen intently. When they react impulsively, analyze. Composure radiates control. And in any structure of authority, control is magnetic. The strategist taught that intimidation is not always enacted through aggression. Sometimes it is acquired through serene unpredictability. When people cannot discern how you will react, they proceed with caution. Your restraint becomes a form of authority in itself. From this emerges the next principle, possibly the most challenging. Make influential people feel secure in their insecurities. Every person of consequence harbors concealed doubts. The anxiety over betrayal, relevance, loss of command. Your role isn't to take advantage of these insecurities. It's to alleviate them subtly by building trust. Let them feel that you comprehend without passing judgment. Share your insights in private, never in public. The more someone believes their vulnerabilities are safe with you, the more they attach themselves to you on an emotional level. They may never voice it, but they will begin to advocate for you in rooms you've never entered. That is authentic, social leverage. When people with influence defend you because you hold their unspoken fears, a critical shift occurs. Never make them your sole focus. If your entire world revolves exclusively around influential individuals, they will detect dependency. Dependency is repellent to those who control assets. You must sustain other alliances, even with those below you. Impact functions in tiers. If you are esteemed across multiple levels, upward, lateral, and downward, no single connection defines you. This independence makes you exceptional. Influential people are drawn to what they cannot completely possess, and they remain engaged with what they cannot fully predict. Now, let's discuss your bearing. People often believe social ascent requires constant performance. It does not. It requires mastering contrast. Be reserved in speech, yet vivid in expression. Be courteous but never servile. Be approachable, but never readily accessible. That delicate tension being reachable yet untouchable is what pulls people in. Influence adores what radiates but does not scorch upon getting too close. If you can perfect that emotional distance, you'll discover that individuals of sway begin seeking your validation without even realizing it. And that is when your true ascent commences. When you cease pursuing acceptance and start emanating it. When you become the kind of person who appears to belong everywhere, yet is indebted to no one. The most formidable climbers aren't boisterous, overtly ambitious, or ravenous. They are serene, intentional, and impossible to categorize. You cannot tell if they are at the start or the zenith of their rise. That ambiguity makes people uneasy, but it also attracts them because, in a world obsessed with hierarchy, mystery feels synonymous with power. This is what the strategist meant when he said that appearance frequently trumps reality in the quest for sway. To connect with the influential, you must craft perception like a sculptor. Each gesture, silence, and word placed with deliberate intent. You don't need to dominate spaces. You need to design atmospheres. You don't need to win debates. You need to steer emotions. And above all, you don't need to climb conspicuously, only strategically, one unseen step at a time. Because genuine social elevation doesn't occur on grand platforms. It happens in hushed tones, exchanged glances, and instants that others ignore. The real climb begins when you stop trying to be seen and start striving to be unforgettable. The real climb begins not when you are seen, but when you are remembered. But to be unforgettable to the influential, you must first learn to inhabit their world without ever being absorbed by it. Power entices, and the nearer you get, the more it attempts to drag you into its rhythm, its incessant demands for loyalty, focus, and validation. This is where most climbers stumble. They confuse proximity with permanence. They think an invitation equates to inclusion. But in reality, every room of sway contains two types of people: those who are utilized and those who are used. If you are unsure which one you are the latter. The strategist would have advised, never forget that the higher you climb, the more frigid the atmosphere becomes. Warmth dissipates, but utility persists. So, your subsequent task is to render your usefulness permanent while making your reliance undetectable. You achieve this by developing leverage outside the relationship. Maintain projects, networks, and sway that exist independently of them. The influential respect autonomy above all else, because they secretly fear those who cannot be controlled. It's a paradox. The less you require them, the more they desire you nearby. This guides us to the next implicit rule. Never engage in upward gossip. It is the quickest method to erode trust in elite circles. Even a suggestion that you repeat confidential discussions will lead to your quiet exile. The powerful function within small, wary ecosystems, where loyalty is the currency and discretion is the armor. So, speak less than you know. If someone entrusts you with a confidence, guard it as if it were your own. When it becomes known that you are impermeable, even your silence acquires worth. The strategist would say that secrets are the purest form of authority, and the individual who can keep them becomes essential to every seat of power. But there is another dimension here: timing. The next rule: Always discern when to advance and when to recede into the backdrop. Influence is about rhythm, not constant motion. Advance at the wrong moment, and you appear needy. Withdraw for too long and you seem insignificant. The secret is to move with the natural ebb and flow of their energy. When they are ascending, align yourself with their rise. Provide ideas, support, or perspective. When they are under duress, withdraw just enough to demonstrate respect for their need for space. Never overshadow them when they desire visibility. Never vanish when they crave affirmation. The influential remember those who can read them without explicit instruction. And here is a counterintuitive reality. If you want to forge authentic bonds with the influential, don't always discuss triumph. Talk about adversity, not yours, but theirs. Inquire about the times they almost failed, the lessons born of regret, the moments nobody witnessed. Power exists within performance, and the most rare intimacy is located in vulnerability. When a person of stature realizes you see their humanity, not their position, you distinguish yourself from the multitude and enter their inner circle. Because everyone praises their strengths, few truly honor their scars. Now, there's another principle the strategist implied but rarely stated openly: the skill of appearing less than you are. Feign a slight underestimation of your own reach. Let others uncover it. When you behave as though you are unaware of your growing reputation, it mitigates envy. The powerful prefer those who rise organically, not those who proclaim their ascent. The less you publicize your climb, the more others will propel it forward for you. They will speak your name, recommend you, defend you, all while believing it was their own notion. Still, this quiet rise depends on one invisible asset: your reputation. Protect it fiercely, not through defensive justifications, but through unwavering conduct. You don't confront rumors. You overwhelm them with irrefutable evidence. The strategist cautioned that reputation often determines conflicts before the first move is made. If people believe you are capable, faithful, and discreet, they will act as if you are, even without verification. Perception solidifies into reality within the hierarchy of impact. Then comes the rule of reciprocation, one of the most nuanced and most misapplied. People think reciprocity means returning favors in kind, but among the influential, timing is more critical than equivalence. If someone aids you today, do not hurry to reciprocate tomorrow. Wait. Select a moment when their need is more acute, when your act of return carries significant weight. That pause converts a simple transaction into a lasting bond. It communicates, "I did not repay out of duty. I waited until it held real meaning." That single subtlety can convert a contact into a comrade. And while you are building alliances, remember this: influence is attracted to poise, not tumult. The one who panics forfeits the room's respect. So when turmoil erupts around you, do not choose sides hastily. Let others contend for status while you quietly collect intelligence. Often, the final person to speak gains the most authority because everyone else has already revealed their positions. The strategist prospered in such chaos by seeming impartial while covertly influencing all sides. You must learn to do the same. Appear non-aligned until alignment offers a clear advantage. But impartiality by itself is not enough. Eventually, you must project sway, not noisily, but through the atmosphere you create. Influence begins when people start anticipating your perspective before you utter a word. You build this by asking incisive questions, not by delivering monologues. Pose inquiries that reveal intelligence without demanding the spotlight. Over time, people will begin to defer to you instinctively. They will look for your reaction before forming their own opinions. That is when you have transitioned from being a participant to being a silent authority. There is a point in every climber's journey when they realize they are no longer pursuing introductions. introductions are now pursuing them. This occurs when your mere presence confers an advantage upon others. Perhaps you attract deference, or instill calm, or embody opportunity just through association. The influential collect individuals like this, not because they necessarily like them, but because proximity to them enhances their own stature. That is your ultimate leverage. To be perceived as the person who elevates an environment simply by being in it. But that kind of aura cannot be fabricated. It is constructed from the quiet discipline of consistency, from arriving punctually, dressing with understated precision, speaking with measured purpose, and fulfilling your promises without fanfare. The world of sway is built upon whispers, and every whisper concerning you either lifts your name or erases it. The strategist would remind you that the ascent itself is not the objective. Transformation is. Each encounter with influence must change you, hone you, refine your emotional command until you no longer feel daunted by titles, wealth, or status. Because when you reach the stage where you can sit beside power and not feel lesser, you have already transcended it. And when you can perceive power not as something to submit to, but as something to comprehend, you will understand that social climbing isn't about manipulation. It's about mastery of perception, rhythm, and restraint. The world yields to those who move with unseen authority, those who do not rush, those who do not plead, those who know precisely when to step forward and when to allow others to draw them closer. If this wisdom resonated with you, help Winds of Thought grow by liking this video. Your support allows us to continue unfolding profound insights.